You know, I bet that you never travel without your toothbrush. So why is a travel router any different? In this day and age, a travel router is an essential travel gadget that few people are taking on their trips. I say no more. Today, we'll discover what makes this little guy the gateway to better internet signal, security, and of course, freedom. Okay, so before getting into the benefits of using this little guy to connect to any Wi-Fi network, let's talk about some of the biggest problems that we face every day when we travel and connect to just any public Wi-Fi network. The first being obviously security. If you're traveling around and connecting to any guest Wi-Fi network like hotels, airports, or even your Airbnb, that means that you're not secure at all. The owner of these Wi-Fi networks can easily spot your device's IP address and even log all the traffic that you have. If you're into torrenting or doing something that's kind of edgy, then this may be a huge red flag. The second problem that I encounter most of the time when I travel is the Wi-Fi signal strength. Obviously, if you're staying at a hotel or a guest house or anything where you have to share the Wi-Fi strength and the signal with multiple rooms and multiple floors, then it's likely that the connection that you will have with your devices is not the best. Using something like this, essentially a router, it acts as a repeater for that Wi-Fi signal. And it also has hardware acceleration, which means that it will boost the strength of the signal using its own hardware. This is a huge plus for me because, in summary, it makes your connection strength better, and ultimately that lets you have better download speeds, which are all important if you're having video calls, streaming, or anything like that, obviously. Finally, some connections will limit the amount of devices that you can connect to them. Think of it as the cruise example, where you go on a cruise and you have to pay for Wi-Fi so that you can get one of your devices connected. And they do this through what is called a captive portal, essentially a website that you have to sign into before using the internet. And if you've ever been to an airport, then you're pretty familiar with what a captive portal is. By using this little guy, you can just do that sign up process with one device, aka the travel router, and then just distribute the Wi-Fi amongst all of your devices, with the hosts never knowing anything about it. So if they are charging you money, you can be saving a ton of money by using something like this. You can even use it in the plane, by the way. If you're paying for one of those packages and you're traveling with, 3 people, you can essentially share the Wi-Fi amongst all of them by just connecting with your travel router, which can be used from a power bank. So if you're thinking, oh, how am I gonna power it up? Then it's super easy. But let's go for a little tour, shall we? The router itself is extremely small and portable, as you can see. The most notable physical features that it has are its both antennas that should give you a better connection anywhere that you are. On the left side or right side, it has a couple of buttons, one to reset the router and the other one to change the connection type, as you can see there. And on the back side, you got 2 Ethernet ports to connect for a better signal to an existing router if you can find it in your accommodation or at your home, of course. A USB port that you can use for tethering, that is, sharing internet from another device like your phone. And of course, the USB-C entry for power, which you can essentially hook up to its existing power cable or to a power bank or to any other type of USB-C cable that provides enough energy, which is not that much, so you should be able to do just fine. Okay, I told you that this router was kind of small, so let's compare it with some other devices. If I just fold the antennas first, I'm gonna go ahead and bring to the fold my Apple Magic Mouse. Now, if you've ever held a mouse or a Magic Mouse, you know that this is essentially the same size, and it's kind of crazy because it's super small. Of course, it's gonna be way thicker, but you can get a pretty close idea that this thing should be extremely pocketable. Let's take the mouse out of the equation and let's bring our phone, or my phone. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max with a very, very light case and thin case. It's the Peak Design case. And if we put the router over the phone, you can see that, of course, it's not even as tall as the phone. So you should totally be able to pocket this router. And if we look at it on the sides, you can see again that it's probably 3 times or 4 times the thickness of the phone. Okay, I would say 3 for a good comparison. But yeah, not big at all. By using this router, we get to solve most of the problems that I just raised a moment ago. The first one, and probably one of the most important ones, being the security. You will be able to create your own private network within a network. That means that none of the IPs of all the devices that you have connected will be able to be known by any other user that's not you, because they will only see the router. The second one, of course, is the firewall. You can configure this router's firewall in multiple ways. You can even block all types of ads for all the devices on the network, if that is something that you would like to do. Another notable plus is the one-time connection needed for all your devices. Imagine you get to your Airbnb. You connect this router to the Airbnb's Wi-Fi, and then your iPhone, your Mac or computer, Kindle, tablet, whatever it is you have with you, and if you're traveling as a crowd, obviously that's even going to increase in numbers, and they're all connected instantly to a network that you can trust. This is a huge plus. And let's talk about tethering. If you have your phone and you have your router, then magic can truly happen. You know, I've been in this situation where I needed to use my phone to share internet multiple times across the world, and sometimes that can really suck. Most notably because ISP providers lately are blocking the amount of internet that you can share from your phone to any other type of devices. However, this is only when you're doing it by the native phone sharing feature. If you're using something like this to tether your connection, they have no way to know about it. Alright guys, so I wanted to give you a little overview of how does the whole configuration look like, and to do that, we're going to go ahead and just enter the router's portal. This is super easy, just like you do with any other type of router. So you will go to your browser and type 192.168, and this is my address 0.8.1, and then just press enter and you are in. So usually you will be welcomed in the admin panel by your connection type. In this case, I'm using the router, as you can see here, as a repeater. So that's what you see in the top of the screen. You can do tethering, you can do cellular, or you can do Ethernet. That's by connecting straight with a cable. And then you also see some of the features that we have here to enable. I have all of them disabled right now, but this is for the purposes of this demonstration. The first one being AdGuard. AdGuard is essentially what I told you about, blocking all types of ads. You can also use it to block other types of things. It's essentially your firewall, entirely customizable to what you need, and it's super good. Then the other two that I want to note real quick is the VPN. The VPN, that's right here, that I use all the time, and then Tor. Finally, if you want to browse the web through Tor, you can also do this with this router. Okay, so you get to your configuration for the wireless. So the two channels that you have enabled for the router, this is the 5 Hz and the 2.4 standard stuff. You can change the password. You can also change the type of security and all that stuff. I've already done it. I don't want to mess with it. And then you can also quickly view the clients that are connected to your network or that are saved in your network. So I have a lot of stuff here, my MacBook, my Kindle, my iPhone, and other types of devices that I use, like the TV here as well. And then you have other types of services. The most notable one for me, it's the VPN. Now you can configure two types of VPN with this router. The first one being OpenVPN. If you have your own VPN server, you can totally configure it through the router. That means that you will share that connection across all your devices. Or you can also use WireGuard, which essentially allows you to connect with a VPN client to any VPN provider that you may have. However, there's some recommended VPN providers. In my case, NordVPN works perfectly with this router, and there's a couple of others that also work seamlessly and super easy to set up. Now, why might you want to use a VPN? Well, this is obvious, right? If you're traveling like I am right now, I'm in Indonesia, but I want all my connections to come from Spain because my whole setup is there. My work knows that I'm there most of the time, so the websites won't get trippy and try to log me out and stuff. Then I may activate this VPN just so that all my connections come from there and that I may not run with any type of issues. It's super easy to activate, as I just did. It's a one-click kind of deal, and you can select the server that you like. Again, from this drop down, you can add more servers. Usually I just have Germany, Spain, and I think the US, even here. But that's pretty much it. It's all I need, and it's super easy to set up. It's relatively fast, and it works amazingly. Of course, you can also do the regular stuff that you could do with any type of router. You can do port forwarding, you can do DNS configuration, you can set an static IP if that's what you want, and you can even optimize it for gaming or other types of stuff that you may like. Really, the world of options is endless here, and you can have a ton of fun while figuring it out by yourself. Okay, so was this a lot of unnecessary information? I truly hope it wasn't, because I've been loving this router. I mean, I had it for a couple of months already, and I truly feel like every traveler needs to have one of these in their backpack. I've also heard from some digital nomads out there that they set up their VPN connection to their home's IP address, and that way is essentially like they never left home. So they can get connected to their IP and control stuff from their home, which is also incredible and just racks my brain. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's getting pretty hot in here. Don't forget to put this router in your to-do list. And if you're thinking, Fernando, I hate to-do lists, then go ahead, watch my video about Hoop, the best AI task manager, because that will give you another level of organization on your mind, on your life, and then you can truly remember to pick up this router from Amazon, because that's where I got it, and trust me, you would not regret it. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. I'm Fernando. Bye-bye.